Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Dragons Game Day. I'm one of your hosts, Jeff Gorby. I'm joined by Coach Dave Carroll to my right and Coach Jack Harris to his right. Guys, exciting week last week here against Rock Hill. Rock Hill was a little short-handed. Their starting tailback had got hurt earlier in the week, separated his shoulder in practice. But the Dragons got off to a very, very, very fast start. Cam Kitts, second game in a row, back-to-back kickoff returns. Talk a little bit about that kickoff return, guys. I know you guys were excited about it up there. I didn't get to see the replay until later, but I know some great blocking.
It took all of 14 seconds. I looked at the clock, and there was 11:46 left.
And it was from the 14-yard line?
Uh-huh.
Exactly, an 86-yard kickoff return, and it looked like a carbon copy of the one the week before. Same sideline, couple nice cuts, but the key to the whole thing was Mr. Bryson Hunt's pancake of not one, but two defenders right on the near sideline. He drilled one, he went down, and he just kept on going, and the last guy he pancaked him too, and Cam Kitts just sailed into the end zone.
You can't ask for anything better. I was more excited about those blocks than I think it was the touchdown.
Me too. I think.
I mean, that's
you always kind of ask your kids to give an extra effort, but that's an extra effort
Yes.
to print.
Yes. And well, I got to watch it Saturday morning when I got up. I was watching that. Turned it on, got excited. I jumped up off the couch Saturday morning watching those two pancake blocks. That's something to be extremely proud of. I think Cam Kitts gets the second touchdown of the game, I believe, on a rush.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So Cam has started off a couple games extremely hot. Now, you guys, both being former head coaches, if you're Gallipolis tonight and you're kicking off, are you kicking deep to Cam Kitts?
Absolutely not.
Well,
I'm not kicking it deep at all. I'm going to pooch it or do something in the air, squib it on the ground. I'm doing something.
well, if you remember, that year we played in Chesapeake, and they had that Chris Pfizer, who had returned several punts and kickoffs for touchdowns. I told Bill Cummings, I said, don't you dare kick him the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I said, kick it out of bounds. And when you're kicking off, you kick to the other guy. And Bill did an amazing job. And the very last punt, Pfizer came over to get it. And it was right on the right sideline. And thank goodness he caught it and stepped 1 foot out of bounds. But also, I took note of Cabell Midland and Ironton.
Uh-huh.
They punted the ball to Sean Terry. And what's he do? First time he touches the ball, he goes 64 yards.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the night, they did not kick him the ball.
I saw today, his uncle had posted that Sean Terry got an offer from Illinois today.
Yes. And that's not his first offer. That's like his third offer to D1 school.
Right.
So he's
Well, he's sweet feet, that's for sure.
Yeah.
he's electric.
He is that.
Coach, did you want to go around any, just talk a little bit about last week or not? I mean, we scored on 6 or 7 possessions.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what's crazy. Rock Hill had 13 first downs. We had 14. Does that tell you how much they had the ball?
Right.
I mean, they did.
Yeah, it seemed like we'd scored one or two plays, and then they would have 25 play drives. They really controlled the game.
We had rushing. They were 47 for 159. That's 3.4 yards a carry. We had 24 for 122. That's 6 yards a carry. That's pretty daggone good.
I think our skill athletes outclassed them.
Well, they did, but
Did they complete a pass?
Well, I'm getting ready to tell you. Passing, 3 for 5, 9 yards, 1 interception. Peyton Jackson, 13 for 14, 220 yards, 4 TDs, no interceptions.
And Peyton, going back to the week before, I think he completed 18 straight passes for 8th in the high school record book.
Yep.
So, that high school lets you count it if you got it in the end. I know, Coach, you had Nathan Hughes had, 10 free throws in one game. And
they
then
had 17 for 17 against Chesapeake.
Yeah, and then I know another one was 2 different games. I believe it was broke up. So they allow you to kind of go back and get those. So Peyton had completed 18 straight. I was giving Coach Jackson a hard time when he told me that Peyton had missed the one pass. I said, well, you're the offensive coordinator. You must have been the guy that called it.
Well, I'm not sure, Jeff. The way I read it in the paper, I think it's the 3rd longest streak this year.
This year? So
Wow.
I know that he had texted me something, and I knew it was 8th, I think, overall, maybe 3rd longest this season. So it's still impressive.
There's one thing from last week that I feel like is negative for us. We had 8 penalties.
Right.
50 yards. We had 4 defensive offside penalties.
Right.
And they weren't far apart. I mean, that's discipline, and that can be corrected.
I think Coach Jackson alerted to that on the post-game show.
Yeah, and I think you guys had said that even on the broadcast last week. The defensive lineman, you're looking at the ball.
Yeah, you're not going on sound. You're watching the ball, ball snap.
Right. So, I know Christian Collins had a touchdown pass or catch right here in this end zone. I think he bounced it on the back of his helmet. It wasn't a clean catch. It was kind of all around, but it was still a good catch right here.
Well,
Yes.
Christian Collins just caught 2 passes for 14 yards with the TD. Quentin Kermeans had 1 catch for 61 yards on that screen pass. I don't know if you guys remember that, but listen to this. Jack Hayden had 3 for 29, a TD. Keegan Smith was 3 for 50 for a TD. Bryson Hunt was 4 for 66 TD. So we had 4 different receivers catch touchdown passes last week. I mean,
That's
if you're
what I
Gallia,
mean by our skill athletes outclass their skill.
that's what I'm
athletes.
saying. But just think about if you're the coach from Gallipolis and you're trying to prep for this week. I mean, if you double somebody, well, there's 3 other guys.
3 other guys.
Yep.
You know.
So, and one of the other things you take away, you needed a win. We needed another big win. Setting up this game here this week. I know there's 9,000 different polls out there. You got the AP poll, you got the computer poll, you got the Martin's RPI poll. Now you got some other ones. But looking at that Martin RPI poll over the weekend, I know both of us are in the top 10.
Right.
As we're looking at that in our different divisions, both of us are in the top 10. And basically what that's looking at is strength of schedule, who you played, who you beat across the board. So for both of us to be in the top 10 in the state of Ohio, this isn't news poll writers or coaches polls voting. This is putting the numbers in a computer, running an algorithm. I think you taught me that in 8th grade. Running an algorithm of some sort and spitting these numbers out. Both of us are in the top 10, so it's going to be a great ball.
That's pretty daggone amazing. I mean, if you think about it.
Are you talking about me coming up with an algorithm was amazing?
Well, you using that word, first of all.
Well, Coach, one of the things that I've noticed, I was just looking on our stat sheet here. Gallia is 5-0, and of course 2-0 in the conference. But the least amount of points that they've scored has been 30. Then they have 39, 42, 47, and 50. But the Dragons, the least amount of points they've scored has been 32. Then they have 56, 60, or 14, excuse me. That's the least amount of points. And 61 and 40. So both teams, I'm predicting right now that the score, and I'm hoping that it's the Dragons, but it's going to be something like 42-35.
And historically, if you look back at this game, it's been a 3 to 5 point ball game, and it's been in the 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
The last few years. We started it. We call this the game, the old coal bucket game. We started this. Rich Corvin was the AD back in 2016, and he and I started playing for a traveling trophy. We won it 16 and 17. They've had it every year since. Now, in 21, we did not play. The game got canceled. That was during the COVID season. Gallipolis had a lot of kids out. We ended up going to Columbus South and winning that night. But so they've had the old coal bucket since 2017. We don't have a kid on this team that has played or has brought that championship trophy home. So we're hoping tonight that kind of turns it. But every game has been within one score.
Yeah, well, I've had people all week ask me, what do you think about this week? What about the game? And I was like, look, guys, this is the one team on the schedule that I feel like we match up with almost exactly.
Yep.
I mean, they got skilled players. They got good linemen.
I was talking to Coach James Ward before the game, and he put it perfectly. He said, they are us in blue.
Yes, that's right.
And that's pretty much the way I see it, too.
That is true.
They can score from anywhere on the field. They have a capable passing game and running game. It's going to come down to whose line plays the best, fewest turnovers, and secondary play.
And I think, Coach, I'm gonna go one farther. It's who makes the biggest play on special teams. I think we match up across it.
I think you guys forgot a big one. In a game like this, penalties, drive killers.
Right.
I mean, that to me, that's huge.
Right. And you go back, Gallia is such a storied program. Coach Saunders.
Yes.
And I know they've been over 100 years in a program. Coach Saunders was there. Coach Bakovich took over for him. It's been a program that's just been great all along. They've had some down years. They've had some up years. But historically, Gallipolis is a good program.
Yes, they are.
And they played in the SEOL with some great teams. They've had some great athletes. You had the Barnes kids that were up there. There was some kids by the last name of Golden that were outstanding athletes. And I know I'm missing hundreds of athletes at Gallipolis, but this is a historical program. It's been a good rivalry for us. We used to scrimmage them years ago. We didn't play them, but we scrimmaged them. It was always a great scrimmage.
Yes, it was.
Now, we physically got beat to death in those scrimmages, but they were close scrimmages, and it got us ready for the regular season. So I think, Coach, we go back to it. It's hard to argue that the 93 scrimmage that first year didn't get us ready for the next 10 that we were getting ready to play. They had some athletes up there. Of course, we did too. If you can remember, Michael Jackson and Chad Barnes met in the hole. I can't remember. I think they were on offense, and it was a train wreck in about the 4 or 6 hole. So, been some great football players come out of Gallipolis and some great coaches. I know Coach Saunders will probably be down here tonight. He'll holler at me when he comes in. Always got a great story, and he loves Gallia Academy football.
He taught me a lot about linebacker play after that scrimmage. So I got to talk with him, and he helped me on linebacker keys. And he's just a great guy.
He is.
And that was a great scrimmage for us.
Yeah.
Coach, we got a new pregame sponsor.
Got a new pregame sponsor tonight. B. Ross Photography is our pregame sponsor tonight. Brandy's been taking photos for probably about 10 to 12 years now. Very, very, very good. Not because she's my sister-in-law, but just her pictures are great.
She does a great job.
She does a great job. All kinds of pictures that, whether it's senior pictures, you got homecoming pictures coming up, newborn pictures, just any type of pictures you could think of. Get a hold of Brandy at B. Ross Photography.
And the number's there on the screen, and I can't see it because...
Looks like 304-360-0422. So make sure you
I need to get some trifocals, guys.
Make sure you give Brandy a call and schedule your pictures. She can do mini sessions. She can do on-site. She can do them at her house. She's got a studio there at the house. All kinds. I know she does some mermaid pictures in the tub. I've seen all kinds of them. So, and she always takes great pictures of my girls. I'm a little bit biased because they are mine, but Coach, I've seen some pictures of your granddaughters that she's taken. It's some great photos.
Well, let's go Pick'ems, Coach.
Pick'ems.
All right, let's go Pick'ems.
This week, we got Chesapeake versus Ironton. Chesapeake's 3-2, 0-2 in the league. Ironton's 4-1, 2-0 in the league. Colgrove beat Chesapeake last week 44-31, and of course Ironton beat South Point 42-8. I think we know who everybody here is going to pick tonight.
Chesapeake's going to be 0-3 in the league.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they are.
They are. Okay, that's enough of that one. Just too much. Coach, you want to go to the next one?
Okay, Rock Hill, who's 2-3 and 0-2 in the league, versus South Point, who's 3-2 and 1-1 in the league. My feelings are South Point's program has come a long way over the last couple of years, and I'm going to go with the Pointers. Somebody's got to pay for that whooping they took.
Yes, I agree. I think South Point just got too many athletes. I talked to Coach Lutz at the golf course on Monday for the girls' OVC golf match, and he said he's still got some kids banged up and dinged up a little bit. I think South Point just got too many athletes for him.
South Point's got 18 seniors. Is that correct?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, wow. I think South Point's going to be too much for them. I agree with that.
I agree.
All right, our last pick'em in the conference. And by the way, that's a home game for Rock Hill, you folks at home. Our last pick'em game is Portsmouth. They're at home. They're 2-3, 1-1 in the league. They lost to Gallia last week, 50-18. They're going to be playing Colgrove, who's 4-1, 1-1 in the league. Of course, they beat the Peak last week, 44-31. So, Coach Gorby, you go first.
Well, I think the first team to throw a pass in this game. No, I think Colgrove's just probably a little bit more speed for them, a little bit stronger up front. I got Colgrove in a close game.
What do you think, Coach?
I'm going to go with the Hornets.
I'm going to go with that, too. That's what I think, too. I think they're just going to
ground and pound.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree. We had, I mentioned the girls' OVC golf match this past Monday. It was out at the Esquire. just to be able to see where our program has grown. We had a young lady by the name of Hannah Shrout a few years ago. Outstanding golfer, probably not only female golfer, but probably one of the best golfers in the area at the time. She's now at Marshall University playing, and she kind of got this whole thing started for us. And then we had Addie Speed coming in right behind her. Addie ended up at Shawnee State playing golf. So, again, they kind of got this all started for us. We're going to get Gridiron Glory on here in just a second. I think they're here to kind of talk to us. But finishing up with girls golf, just to be able to see them come out and be able to play this, a few years ago, it was 2 or 3 girls was competing in the boys, with the boys, and now we had an actual girls tournament. We had Isabella James was honorable mention All OVC, and Eliza Wilson was first team All OVC. We're joined by Gridiron Glory. They're out of Athens, Ohio, with Ohio University. And we're going to we had them on the show a few years ago, or last year actually, during the playoff game. So we're going to kind of turn it over. We're going to let you introduce yourself, kind of tell us what you guys do and all that stuff here for the local teams.
Yeah, so my name is Caleb McCleskey. I'm currently a junior at Ohio University studying journalism.
Go Bobcats.
Yeah, definitely. So this is my second year with Gridiron Glory. Actually, I've covered the OVC twice now. And I think after last year when we were looking at both Gallia and Fairland, both were easily top 4 teams in the conferences, I would say, after doing multiple games covering them. And I think for this game specifically, we are in the exact same boat. There are multiple teams right now who are 1-1 in the conference. We're early now in OVC play, but I think looking forward to tonight, we just have to wait and see. I think both these teams are going to show great offensive performances, but we'll just have to wait and see.
We're going to put you on the spot a little bit. You going to be brave and make a pick here tonight, or you just going to say it's going to be a great game?
Unfortunately, I'm just going to have to say it's going to be a great game. But as I just said, I mean, I think both of these teams have proven their worth, at least to me, what they're able to do on and off the ball. I think from what I saw with Fairland against Ironton a few weeks back, they're definitely not going to play around with holding Ironton basically to no points almost throughout the entire first quarter. I was like, okay, if Fairland is able to do that for all 4 quarters, then I think it's up to them. But I think with Gallia, if they are able to put pressure on Fairland, and depending on what kind of pressure that may or may not be, they are definitely going to give us a ball game tonight.
So I know you said this is your second year working at the Gridiron Glory. Personally, what's it like? I worked at the Herald-Dispatch for a few years. I loved covering high school football. What's it like for you to be able to go out and cover high school football every Friday night?
Oh, no, this is great. I mean, as you just said, this is my second year doing this, but I think coming out and giving these kids a great opportunity to put themselves out in front of the camera for the whole, not just their community, but also the whole region to see. I think that's what Gridiron is able to give them, but just being out here, I mean, first off, wonderful weather we're having.
Oh, yeah.
But I think being able to give these kids the opportunity to put themselves in the media spotlight and be like, hey, maybe this kid could possibly have a future later on with college football or whatever he wants to feel like doing with that. But, I mean, just being able to see different teams with different talents, different weaknesses as well, because after watching a certain team, multiple teams throughout the entire season, you're like, hey, this is what they were able to build on, this is what they were able to improve on. So I think that's just a wonderful thing to see. I played sports throughout my high school career. Instead of football, it was basketball, but just being able to see what these young men can be able to do on and off the field is a wonderful thing.
All right. We appreciate you coming down. We're excited. We look forward to seeing your guys' broadcast and everything at the end of the night. So, again, anytime you're here, we're always welcome to have you on the show. We love having you guys plug what you do, and we appreciate everything you've done for us at Fairland and for the local teams. Again, thank you so much for coming down.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, go Bobcats.
Hey, that's correct.
You're looking at a former Bobcat, dude.
Oh, yeah. We had a great – it was wonderful last weekend, man.
Yeah.
Wonderful game. But thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
beat Iowa
Thank you.
State last
That's
week,
right.
guys.
So
That's a big win.
it's a big win.
Yeah.
We're going to be joined by Coach Jackson now. He's going to come on. We're going to talk a little bit about Gallia Academy Blue Devils. Coach, welcome. Coach, welcome to the show. We've talked a little bit about, we've had this game circled a little bit on the calendar. We know they got the Franklin kid, a receiver. They got the Shamblin kids, one at quarterback, one at running back. Tell us a little bit about what we've seen on film this week.
Well, they've actually switched the other Shamblin back to running back and receiver and found him another quarterback. And He looks to be about 6'3", about 160. Throws a good deep ball. So they found a new thing in their system. So, like I was talking to the coach before the game, we feel like we're playing ourselves. You know, that they got athletes like we got, and, you know, and about the same size line and everything. So we just feel like.
Coach, that's what everybody has asked me all week, and I've told them the exact same thing that you just said.
Yep. Well, you know, I think it's going to come to, you know, we match up in the secondary with them. They match up with us. Who wins that 50-50 ball? You know, who catches the tough passes? Who holds on to the ball? Who can establish the run game? You know.
All right, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
How many times in practice this week did you stress about watching the ball instead of listening to the count?
Oh yeah, quite a few. The D-line did quite a few up downs on Tuesday for that. You know, I didn't want to give them to them Monday.
We can't do that tonight.
Because I want that's why I told them against
Coach here was talking about it.
Against a good team, you can't let them get first downs like that.
You can't let
them
them stop the drive that we're very capable of.
You know, I think we're averaging over 40 points a game. They're averaging like right at 40 points a game. So if you like offense, you come to the right game tonight, I would think, you know. So.
You know, it's going to be an exciting one, Coach. I watched them get off a bus. I was standing there in the locker room. I was talking to their AD. And like everybody said, it was your team getting off the bus with the exception of they were wearing blue.
Yep.
I mean, you match up. The kids look identical. So, you know, we talked about it here earlier. It's going to be one of those nights. The team that makes the less mistakes, and I told the coaches here, I said, the team that makes the play on special teams wins this ballgame tonight.
Yeah, you know, we have athletes.
You think they'll kick the cam?
Well, you know, if they don't, you know, you still got Jack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got Bryson.
Yeah.
I mean, but the same way with them, you know, they got a good returner in 21, but they got other ones, so it don't matter, you know.
Well, Coach, let me ask you this. Did you go from 2 guys in the back this week to 3?
In the back on kickoff return?
Kickoff return?
Nah.
I mean, that way you didn't give them a choice.
We'll go with what we do, you know what I mean? We'll, you know, we practice who we are, so let's go out there and line up and do what we do. And
well, let's do it tonight.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
You
Coach,
know it.
good luck to you. 3 hours. We're going to see you in the winner's circle.
All right, bye.
We'll see you at halftime, Coach.
Okay.
Yep, we'll see you at halftime.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck, baby.
Good luck tonight, brother.
Yeah, good luck. Going back to, we finished up with girls golf. We had Eliza Wilson was first team all-conference. Isabella James, honorable mention, all OVC. Boys golf today, Portsmouth Elks come out of there with a surprise High Valley Conference championship.
Yes.
Coach Speed in his first year and his dad, Dave Houck, has done an amazing job with these golfers. We had some kids play extremely well today. Jeremiah Pfizer was second overall by 1 stroke, first team all-league. Ben Southard, senior, played extremely well today. First team all OVC. E.B. Hall, young sophomore, played great under some pressure. I got to see him play quite a few holes today. First team all conference. We had Kyan Page, also played a great game. Kyle Salyers, who's coming off a game-winning soccer goal right here about where the pylon is. Last night, late, gets up, goes to Portsmouth Elks today as a freshman, plays a great round of golf. And Tristan Rogie. Those guys, OVC champions. Coach Speed, Coach of the Year, first time as a golf coach.
Pretty awesome.
Pretty awesome. I tease him and Coach Buchanan all the time. They got to start getting, because, you know, Coach of the Year is COY. I tell them, you guys got to start getting tattoos of koi fish somewhere with the
hey, neither one of them guys is going to get a tattoo.
Right. Neither one. But Jonathan also tells me, he said, if we did that, he said, Nathan and I would be complete body tattooed.
That's true.
Right now. Those guys have had some great success. And again, congratulations to the golf team. We've had some other things this week. Volleyball team won Tuesday night in a makeup game against Ironton in 3 sets. Last night went down to Portsmouth, won again in 3 sets. They're off to a great start in the league. They're tied at the top with Chesapeake. Both Chesapeake and Fairland have 1 loss apiece. That game's coming up here pretty shortly. It's going to be a great one. Unfortunately, it's at Chesapeake. It's not over here in the Carl York Center. So hopefully we can get a big crowd down there. Boys soccer.
Oh, I meant tomorrow. Where are they at?
Tomorrow they're at the Jackson Apple Festival. Tournament starts at 9 a.m. Both JV and varsity. They're going to start off. Both teams will start off with Piketon at 9 a.m. And then they'll play the winner of Jackson. Well, if you win, you play the winner of Jackson Belpre. You lose, you play the loser of Jackson Belpre. So,
Well, here's two. Let's don't forget this. The band goes up to the Jackson
Right.
Apple Festival
Tomorrow
tomorrow
evening.
night to march
Right.
in the parade. So,
They used to have the Ohio State band there all the time.
yeah.
and
I don't know if they'll be there.
I
guess
think they're
not,
going to be
but-
out in South Bend.
Yeah,
I think so, too.
I'm glad, Coach. I'm glad you mentioned the band. What Chris Shue and Evan White and Holly Martin has done this year is amazing. I can't say enough about those three individuals and what they've done. Picking up after Keith Carper retired, he left the band in a good place, but they just kind of hit the ground running and tuck off. Which
Well,
is great.
at the end of halftime, before they get down with their show, we're going to announce their names. So
Yes.
everybody in the band tonight,
Right.
just like we did last year.
Yeah.
Well, we did it last year during the blackout, Coach.
Yes, up at God Bless.
They have a God bless. Cross country this past weekend, Bailey Russell finished 6th out of 75. Jonathan Knight finished 16th out of 117 runners. Every kid that run in that race up at Southeastern had a new PR.
That
Set a new PR.
is what is most important.
Yes.
Every kid ran a new PR,
every-
which means, guess what? Darren and Phil Snyder are doing their job because
Oh, yeah.
they're getting
They're
better.
getting better. They're getting better. You want to be, with cross country, you want to start peaking here, in the next few weeks because we're getting ready for the tournament.
That's right.
Those tournament runs. So Phil and Dara have done a great job with them and some different things. Don't want to forget anybody. We had boys soccer, 2 wins.
Wait a
this
minute.
week.
Hold on. Cross country's at Rio.
Oh, cross country's at Rye Grand tomorrow.
Yeah, don't want to forget that.
It's kind of a little.
Let's not fail to mention that the middle school cross country team girls finished first.
Up at Southeastern too.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
A little girl named Lola Donahue finished.
We don't know her, do we?
We don't know her at all.
Was her mom screaming at her the whole way?
I have no idea. But they're up at Rio Grande.
They're
tomorrow.
Rye Grand tomorrow too.
Okay.
Soccer teams, boys soccer teams. I've tried to get to this about 4 times, and you keep cutting me off.
Sorry.
Boys soccer team won Tuesday night up at Ignite and Hurricane, or it's Barboursville Park. They're out of Putnam County. Ignite is a private organization. They're in Putnam County, and then they played at Barboursville Park. They won. Our boys won 8-0, 8-1, and then last night we talked about right here. They beat Portsmouth 2-1. Kyle Sawyer had a game-winning field goal or game-winning goal on that. Girls competed this week with Ashland. They're going to go Monday night to Ironton. And then Tuesday night, both boys and girls soccer team will be in action here against South Point. Big league matchup. And then on Wednesday night, I know on the calendars it says Thursday. We had to move it for middle school football. But on Wednesday night, we'll have both boys and girls against Rock Hill. We also wanted to mention we got a QR code here on our screen. Basically what this QR code is, if you don't care, please go give us a donation. Well, it's 50 cents, it's $1, $2, whatever. The equipment that we use is extremely expensive when we're trying to add to this and trying to bring more
Coach,
of a
we got
fan
new
experience.
wrinkles for the game tonight. Coach
do.
Harris doesn't even know about him yet.
All right. We've got some new things in there. The guys who run this upstairs, I sit down here and run the play clock, and I'm only a part of setting up and tear down and the post-game show up there. But my brother-in-law, Josh Ross, what he does, what Jerry's done, what these two guys bring it to life. The rest of us just set everything up, plug some things in, and make the magic happen.
Yeah, but you got Doug Morris up
Right.
there.
Right.
We got Mr. Cyrus here.
Right.
We've had help. Catherine Swalski, I think, is going to be back up here again this week with us.
And let's thank these 3 youngins.
That's
right.
who I was saying. That's who I was
We got,
saying. I mean, they're going to be helping us tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
I mean,
And-
we got some new ones. Wine Swag. here.
Annabelle Wineswag, Chloe Mick, they're going to be helping us tonight.
They're here
so-
helping us out. So again, we're excited about where we're going with this. And again, any little donation helps us add some things. We're starting to look at some things for basketball season right now. Football's still going on, but we're already starting to plan for basketball, softball, baseball. So, every little dime helps so we can make a better production than we already have. So we got.
We're
some
trying
good
to
things
get better every week.
going. We do. Guys,
Well, tell them what we had to do yesterday. We had to.
This is the first time we've been doing this now. 4 years, 3 years.
4 years.
It's
4 years.
Fourth year.
This is your 4th year. We started out with an idea, a laptop, and Doug Morris, I think, as our camera guy.
Yep.
You guys were on maybe one microphone.
Yep.
And yesterday we sit down. We had our first team production meeting or production team meeting. I guess
I don't know what do you want to call it, but we've got so many things
Right.
going on, and you just don't realize it. And of course, we don't have much time.
Right. We don't have a lot of time, so we sat down yesterday. We Mr. Carroll and Jerry and I, we called it our working lunch. While we were eating lunch, stuffing our face with some amazing Alfredo that Lori Calloway and Kelly Jackson made for us for lunch. We tried to write some notes on a postcard, and we got it all typed up. So, again, we had that production meeting. That's outstanding thing for us.
We got to get out of here.
We do. Guys, we're going to get you out of here. We're going to get you up in the press box. You guys will be back on somewhere between 6:45 and 6:50 for tonight's game.
Yep.
I'm hearing Texas Roadhouse may be upstairs for you guys.
That may be courtesy of Jason Morris and your wife that went to go get it.
Big shout out to my wife. She went and picked up Texas Roadhouse for these guys.
Thank you, Jason Morris.
That's right.
And again, thank you, Jason, for doing that. Good night, Dragon Nation. We'll see you here in just a few minutes upstairs.
Good night.